So people have been talking a lot about using AI and language learning, specifically things like Claude Code and other codex models and things that they can do to actually use AI, specifically coding AI, to build tools that can help with language learning. And in a lot of cases, these are actually replacing a lot of the interesting paid tools that used to be out there that now you can just have your free stuff. So I actually built a free tool that makes language learning through immersion way more powerful in my opinion, and I'm giving it to you today. This is going to be one shortcut that looks up any word, and this is without even leaving what you're watching. It's going to save it and it's going to turn it directly into a flashcard automatically. So let me show you exactly how it works and why I built it. And at the end, of course, I'm going to give it to you. So I built the dictionary I always wanted. It turns comprehensible input that I watch right into flashcards that I actually want to use. And it helps with reading too, if that's the kind of thing that you're into. So again, it's going to be completely free. I'm going to give it to you at the end. It's going to work for 10 languages as of right now. But of course, if there's a language that's not currently serviced that you want me to help with, just let me know in the comments. But yeah, 10 languages, and it's going to be yours in a minute. I also want to mention, as I'm going through talking about using AI and Claude Code specifically to build tools and help expedite language learning, if this is something that you're interested in, just let me know again in the comments and I can do this into a full series. Like you see on the screen right now, I do fully intend to make this a series. This is going to be part one, a tool that seems kind of simple, but really helps out a lot. So what you're going to get in this video is we are going to be looking at why looking up words kills immersion. You're going to get the tool and then how it works. We're going to talk about what you watch and how it's turned into flashcards. And then my 2 capture rules that honestly, if you do this incorrectly, can actually mess a bunch of stuff up. So definitely pay attention to the 2 rules I give you on how to use this and when to use it. And then at the end, of course, I'm just going to give it to you for free in the description. So 4 things, and the answers are going to unlock as we go. So first, the problem, okay? You're doing immersion and you want to look a word up, and typically you're going to change too many tabs, or you're going to grab your phone and you're going to never leave, you're basically going to never leave yourself enough time to really do the immersion and actually get the flashcards in at the same time. You're going to be wasting a ton of time and it sucks. So basically what we're going to do here is we're going to never leave what we're watching in order to produce the flashcards that we need and look things up, if that's the kind of thing that we're into. So here was my problem. Originally, I was using an app called Pleco. Now, if you study Chinese, you understand that this is an app that's only on your phone. There might be other apps that are pretty solid, but for me, Pleco was like amazing. So it was really good, but the issue is that it wasn't where I was needing to watch or read things. It was on my phone, and so I had to open my phone, and that would be super distracting and super annoying. So, and of course, if you're the kind of person who does immersion for a couple of hours at a time, then it's really just like you want to stay in the zone because it can be hard to stick it out. And like I mentioned here, it's just an immersion killer. So every reach for your phone pulls you out of the input. Now, of course, we can't, if you're looking up words, we can't fully dodge that, but we are going to be able to dodge it a little bit by making it a little bit more easy and straightforward and streamlined. So I put the whole dictionary on my computer in the moment. So when I'm studying, I can just easily look things up. Okay, so here's the way the process really works. You watch your content or read, okay, whatever you like. Then you look something up with a single shortcut, which I'm going to give you. Then you're going to capture the word plus a sentence really easily. We're going to export it with a single click, and then it's going to basically use AI to create flashcards for you. And the lookup and capture without ever leaving what you're watching. At least, I mean, a bit of a bait and switch. You have to leave a little bit, but not much. Okay, so everything you watch just becomes something you study. Okay, now we're going to watch it work. So just let me show you a real lookup and capture and export, and we're going to get right into it. Okay. So just coming over to my computer here, let's suppose that we're watching French, okay? I have this video sort of loaded up, and I'm watching a video, I'm doing my immersion. So I'm just gonna play this for a second, and then when I see a word that I like, I'm gonna see if I can capture it. So we're gonna do this.
Moyen Âge, les pèlerins qui allaient à Saint-Jacques de Compostelle. Regardez, ils se baignent.
Okay, baigne. Okay, great word. Let's look that up. All I'm gonna do is hit my hotkey, and my dictionary is gonna come up. I'm going to search exactly what I just heard, right? And here it is. Here's the verb, okay? I found it. Now, I could search it up in English, or I could search it up in my target language. So depending on whichever one you download, you're going to have access to either one. So here is to bathe. I could also just do this, to bathe, and the same thing is going to come up. Now, right here, I'm going to click this word, which is going to allow me to capture the word. So I'm going to capture it. Now, what's going to jump up here is going to ask me what sentence do I want associated with this word. Now, for the most part, if there's an example sentence already baked into the dictionary, which most likely I have already done for you, if that's the case, then you can just capture it as it is right here, right? But this is a little bit general, okay? This is basically, I'm going to bathe myself is what this says. This is a little bit general for me. because the word could have been, if I said I'm going to something myself, it could have been like I am going to wash myself, bathe myself, I'm going to whatever, right? It could be anything that could be really general, in which case this sentence is not going to help me guess the flashcard later on. Now, I should back up and say, if you're not familiar with something called close deletion, I have videos about this on my channel. If you need more of an explanation, let me know. But this is the style of flashcard that I really love and other people really like too. It's basically a fill in the gaps, guess what's missing sort of flashcard. So anyway, right, this sentence I don't really love. What I'm going to do is actually something, I'm going to type it in English, but actually better yet, I'm going to say it in English. And if this is not something that you know how to do, don't worry, I'm going to explain all of this to you so you can do this, and it's super, super streamlined. So what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to take a word or a sentence that has something to do with this word to bathe, and I'm going to actually create it in English. And it's going to have to be a sentence that ideally has something to do with my life or my history or something that immediately I'll clue into. And then that's going to help me make the flashcard. Now, a quick tip for you is if you don't know what sentence to make, think about it for a moment or two. And whatever first sentence comes to your mind, that's going to be the one to use. The reason why is because later on, when you see this sentence later on in your flashcards, and it's going to be pointing at the word bang, right, which is in this case is to bathe in French. When it's pointing at this word, you already know the quickest cognitive jump to that word because it's the first thing that came to you when you thought about the example sentence. So we're kind of just reverse engineering that. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm just going to say, let's say in my house, right, my bathroom is on the 3rd floor and I like where I actually take a bath is on the 3rd floor. Let's just say, right? Let's say that's the case. It's not, but let's just say, okay, I could say, when I bathe myself, I have to do it on the 3rd floor of my house because that's where my bath is located, right? So as you can see, I said that in and it basically just typed that in. Now what we have here is a sentence that is essentially pointing at this word, and this word is eventually going to be missing, right? Because the verb to bathe is going to be missing, and this is all baked into everything I'm giving you. But the point is we've now created a sentence that encapsulates and contains our target word, but we're doing a sentence that, again, has something to do with our life and is personal. Now, again, we're going to talk in a moment about why I did this in English, but now I'm just going to hit save capture. Boom. And as you can see right here, there's a single capture. Now, I don't really need to do much else with this video. I could keep watching it. She seems like a lovely girl, but I'm not going to because I'm going to continue with this example. Okay. What you're going to see now is in the captures right here, I have the sentence that I captured, which is under here, and I have the target word associated with it. Now, all I'm going to do is click export to CSV. Now, of course, what you could do is capture as many words as you want. You could just keep going. Okay. I could do random ones. House, just as an example. Oh, we have maison. Perfect. I could say, I've lived in the same house since I was born. It's a great house. And actually, you know what? What I wouldn't do, and this is great that this came up, what I wouldn't do is actually have the same word twice. I would make sure that the sentence has the target word one time, and that's it. So instead of saying it's a great house, I might say it's a great place to live, right? I might say that. I'm going to save capture. Again, these both popped up. Both of the sentences are there, as you can see. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit export. And it's going to ask me what I want to name it. I'm just going to call this French demo, but you can call it whatever you want. Perfect. Now that's saved. Oh, keep playing that video. Oopsie. Okay, next thing, when we have our captures, okay, so we can see these are blanked out. This means we have previously captured it. I'm now going to come over to ChatGPT or any AI that you like. You might be a Claude person, a Gemini person, whatever you like. I'm going to come to ChatGPT because I know a lot of my viewers use that, and I've made videos about it in the past. Personally, if I'm being honest, I actually like to use Claude, but it's all the same. Don't really worry about it. I'm going to come into ChatGPT. I'm going to close the dictionary here. And what you can see is I already have this little file loaded in. Now, this is a file that you will already be provided with if you decide to download the tool, which you're going to find down below. Read that whole page because it's going to give you the instructions on how to set up the tool properly. Again, it's a couple of clicks. It's also going to give you this, which you can drag and drop into any ChatGPT or whatever you want, Claude, Gemini, whatever, chat box. When you put it in there, it's going to automatically understand the instructions. The other thing you can do is you can create a project with it, which again, I can do this in another video if you're interested. The main point here is just showing you the tool that I'm giving you today. So, okay, basically we're going to put this in here and we are going to go into Finder. I'm just going to pull up my Finder really quickly. Essentially what I'm doing is I'm just finding the folder that was just exported, which we just made, and I'm going to drag that in. Perfect. So this is the French demo. As you can see, this is the one that we had before. And all I'm going to do is hit go. So what happened is the flashcard deck automatically exported in the format that I want. This has already been pre-built into the tool. And then what's going to happen is this instruction kit is basically going to explain to ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, whatever. It's going to explain the exact way that we want it to be output. Now, the way that it's going to come out is that the front of your flashcard The front of your flashcard is going to be a close deletion sentence. This means it's going to be a fill in the gap. So you'll remember the sentences that I just made. Those are basically going to be on the front, but they're going to be in your target language. They're not going to be in English like the original way that you created them. There's instructions built into the instruction manual that is basically telling AI to not transliterate, meaning don't take literally every word I say, take the meaning of what I say and translate the meaning into my target language. The purpose of doing this is coming in a second, actually. Okay, so this has now been built. Perfect. It's now producing exactly what I want. And then I can just come in over here. Beautiful. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this. And here we have this guy. And actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell it, turn this into a CSV, not a TXT. And now it's going to turn this into a CSV folder. And listen, after I record this video, I'm probably just going to make it so it automatically does this in a CSV for you so that you don't need to worry about, telling it to turn it from a TXT to a CSV or any of that nonsense. It'll just be automated for you. But for the sake of this video, I'm just going to make sure that it does it properly so that we can actually have things the way we want them. Okay, cool. So as that's working, what I'm going to do, oh, look, it's already done. Let's see. Perfect. Okay, it has exactly what we need. I'm just going to download this. Boom. And we see it's downloaded here. Now, why did I have it done like this? Well, because the chances are that the flashcard app that you use, if you're inside of Fluency Formula already and you use the one that I built, perfect. If you use Anki, fine. Memorize, cool, whatever. It doesn't matter which one you use. But the point is, you're going to need to have to find a way to now import what was just created into your flashcard system, whatever it is that you use. And so by creating in this way, it's now compatible with whatever software you're already using. I'm going to show you a little example of what that looks like. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to come over here and I'm going to open my own Anki as a test. Okay. Okay, it's doing its thing. A bunch of random decks that I have in here. I'm perfect. We have demo ready to go. For the sake of this, I'm actually just going to delete this and create a brand new one. So we're just going to do create deck. I will do demo stuff. Let's do that. Demo stuff. Okay. Perfect. Demo stuff. Okay. Nothing's in here. I'm not going to come back. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit import file. I'm going to click this new guy that we just made. Open. Perfect. It's going to basically just ask me a couple settings of how do I want to import this. The only thing that you're going to really have to worry about here or think about here is just what deck you want to import to. So as you can see here, sometimes what's going to happen is it's actually going to pull up a random deck for whatever reason. I don't know why, especially in Anki. If you're in Memorize or any of these other softwares, I'm not totally sure. If you're inside of the Fluency Formula flashcard app already, then this is automated for you. Don't worry about it. But the point is, if you're doing Anki, you are going to have to select which one that you like. Make sure it's the right deck, because what you really don't want to do is import this into a deck you don't want it, and it's a total pain to get it out. So yeah. And then I'm just going to hit this big blue button, import. It's just going to show me a little overview. Perfect. I'm going to close that. Now, you're going to see most likely some of your decks might just have 0 cards in it. It's going to look like nothing happened, as you can see in this line here. The way we're going to fix this is we are just going to click on the gear button. We're going to click on options. And the reason why it's showing 0 is because it's using a preset from one of the decks that I have on basically that I'm using for another deck. For whatever reason, I set it to 0. I'm just going to pick another preset, random preset of all these random things in here. I'm just going to use this one, I guess. And this preset had 10. The other thing you could do is just manually come into this box right here and just change the preset to whatever number you want. Now, there should only be 1 flashcard in what I just exported, if memory serves, or maybe 2, I can't remember. And I'm just going to hit save. Okay, save. Now you see 2 of them popped up, and we're just going to make sure that these work the way we want them to. We're going to hit study now, and boom. Okay. Essentially, this sentence says, if you can't understand French, you can go ahead and screenshot it and translate it if you don't trust me. But this literally says, I lived in the same house since I was born. That's literally exactly what it says, but it doesn't say the word house, right? So you hopefully can understand that what the directive that we've given to the AI and the app that I'm providing you down below, the actual dictionary, what they do together is they understand the target word that you've captured, and they allow you to then remove it at will when you're producing the flashcards, so that now you have a perfect contextual sentence that makes sense, that you're able to now have point at your target word. So now when you look at the sentence and you're like, okay, and it says, Je m'habite dans la même blank depuis ma naissance. Okay. Basically, this is saying, again, it's a contextually relevant sentence to the target word. We're going to hit show answer. And of course, la maison. The answer was the house. Perfect. So this is exactly the way that we want it to go. Now, I'm going to come back to this presentation because now that you've seen the way the tool works and why it's so awesome, because again, I'll show you. I could be watching this and in the middle of it, right, let's just say, okay, I'm just going to fast forward to the random
Là,
part where there's
on
words.
est l'intrigue m'a l'air passionnante.
Okay, intrigue, right? Let's say I don't know what that word is. Again, just going to click this bad boy. Right? I can either search in English or in French. Of course, this may have not been the best word because this word is probably pretty obvious. It means intrigue, which honestly may have been a French word to begin with. But anyway, point is I can do the same thing, capture. It's going to bring this up. I can say, the man wearing the dark suit intrigued me. I didn't know why he was there. Right? Something so random. But that was the first sentence that came to my brain. And again, I'll remind you, those are the best ones to use because it already shows you need to do the littlest hopscotch from concept to concept, because the first thing that came to your mind is, if you reverse engineer it, likely already conceptually very close to the target word for your brain specifically anyway. This is also why I like to make the custom flashcards myself and not just download random flashcards from nowhere, typically. Okay, so we're going to come back here. And hopefully now you see the benefit of something like this. Oopsie. The benefit of something like this is it's so quick. You have your dictionary of every single word that you can search in English or in French. Again, I can search, like, for example, bed, right? And bed is going to find me the word for bed in French, lit. It's going to find it and it's going to show me. And there's some examples in here that I've already pre-built into you or pre-built in for you. But I'll remind you, a lot of these examples are pretty generic, and so they might not be that helpful. This is more for your understanding that you've got the right word rather than taking the sentence and putting it into your flashcards. All right, perfect. Ha, that's so funny where I paused this. Anyway, let's go back. So we're going to go back and finish the presentation because there are some things, like I mentioned, a couple of rules that if you get wrong is a real pain for what we're doing. So let's keep going. I already showed you this, blah, blah, blah. We'll keep going. Okay. So answers 1 and 2 unlocked. The first thing is why looking up words kills immersion, because when you pull your phone out and it's not right there for you with a hotkey, it's really a pain. So now this lives on your computer. Now, and by the way, if you're doing immersion on your phone, sorry, this is a computer thing. Maybe I can build something for your phone if you're really interested. Again, let me know in the description or in the comment section what you'd be interested in. Okay. Now, number 2, the tool and how it works. I already showed you. It's one shortcut. You look it up and you capture in context. No problem. Also mention, you can keep capturing over and over and over. I'll actually bring it back up one more time. You can just keep capturing and don't actually need to export for a while. You could have 1,000 words in here and then export. You don't need to create the flashcards in real time. Really, all you're doing is you're capturing the word and the associated sentence, but bringing it into ChatGPT with the directives that I'm giving you, that's something that you can do all at once at a later date when you're not in the heat of your immersion, okay? So again, we have one shortcut. You look it up and capture it right there. Now we talk about what you watch turned into flashcards. We'll go through it quickly. First thing is the capture loop. So we read or watch, whatever, capture, we do the reps on repeat. The words you meet become the words you keep. Pretty straightforward. And it's really easy. So reading from flashcards, or from reading from flashcards. And by the way, when I say reading, this also applies to watching like I just showed you. But if you're reading, it's even easier. Okay, because you can even copy paste, right? You could just literally take the word out of whatever you're reading, copy it, and just paste it into the tool. So capture words as you watch. Then export them in one click, drop them into AI, import into the Fluency Formula app or Anki or whatever it is that you use. Okay, so now stop making cards and spend the time studying. Now you capture it so quickly. So the way it works is, again, your captured words, pretty straightforward to go into AI and then they're ready to study. Won't spend too much time there. Okay. So now what you watch turned into flashcards. We export, drop it into AI, and then import into a ready deck, whatever deck you decide to use. Now, super critically, my 2 capture rules. I'm going to talk about a couple things that you need to make sure you do properly. It will save you time and give you some explanation as to a couple things that I may have been doing today that seemed weird to you. You're like, hey, how are you using your voice to type? Why are you doing this in English? Those sorts of things. We're going to get to it right now. Okay. So talk, don't type. The thing that I use currently is called Whisper Flow. You can also use something called Hex. There's a few different things that you can use. If you're interested in having me help you set this up to basically have this run for you, I can make another video that will be a part 2 that's walking you through how I do this. But for now, you can just go to Google or whatever and search basically voice to text AI tool, and you'll find a bunch of them, right? Some of them are free, some of them are paid. If you want me to make a video showing you exactly how to do that for the sake of language learning, especially if you speak different languages, which one to use, all that kind of stuff, let me know. I can make that. Okay. Next is keep the English. Okay. This is a big one. The main point is that it's faster. You have better AI cards and recall lives in the flashcard. So you might ask, when I was capturing that, why am I doing these words in English? Well, one is so that I spend less time doing stuff and more time studying. That's the first thing. More time doing my immersion. It's more seamless. The second thing is it allows you to better connect. If you're learning the language and you're still early, it allows you to better connect the concepts that are already in your brain to this target word. And when this word comes up in your immersion, what you'll find is now it's all in the language anyway. And so, one, you're going to get a bunch of sentences for words that you are already likely to use because this is the way you express yourself, given the fact that you just picked the first sentence that made sense and you said it into the card, okay, or typed it if you haven't used the text to speech or speech to text tool yet. So again, conceptually, it's very close. It saves you a lot of time. And then also, English is actually a small part of the equation because all the time that you're reviewing this word, eventually when you do your flashcards, it's going to be in the target language. So don't worry about that. And all of the AI processes that were used to first build the tool, like in Claude Code, and then after when you're using a ChatGPT or a Claude or whatever to take your exports and basically turn them into what you will then import into your flashcards, all of that understands the context of you're going to be doing in English for the most part. You can always do it in your target language if you want. But the point is, it understands that you're going to be doing things in English. And then again, like I said before, it translates, not transliterates. So it makes sure that the context makes sense. It's not just taking word for word. Because sometimes when you try and translate, it's not great, right? It'll say things that you'd never say in the target language, and then you're drilling a bunch of nonsense. So it understands all of that context. I think English is okay to capture because it saves time. It allows you to connect your concepts more quickly. And again, for the most part, you're actually just going to be reviewing the language in your target language, or not just for the most part, all the time. The English disappears right after the capture. It just makes the capture as frictionless as possible. Okay, so when I say no English ever, we can keep it in this case, just so we can stay moving. We keep the main thing the main thing. Okay, this also saves a bunch of time. Like I said before, if you're someone who's just not proficient in the language yet and you're like, I don't know how to speak my target language. How am I going to make a target language sentence? Could be a pain. So it just makes it way more smooth. So just keep it, stay moving. And the best method is the one you'll actually keep doing. So I'll also remind you, you might want to be this purist of like, I never use English ever in my study language, whatever. But if that creates too much friction for you to then look up the word in your dictionary or on your computer and then translate or try and find a sentence and then make it in the target sentence or make it in the target language and then put that into the app and type it, on your phone or whatever, all this nonsense that creates friction for actually doing the main stuff, which is your immersion, your reviews of that immersion through a closed deletion style flashcard system, whatever, and then getting to the other activities. If it can reduce all the friction, then that's a win, in my opinion. Okay, so all four answers that we talked about. Why looking up words kills immersion is because phone lookups pull you out of the immersion. And every other way of doing it on computers can be clunky. Or there's some good ways, but they're mostly paid tools. And you don't need that anymore because this is free in the linked comment and the description or pinned comment, whatever. This lives directly on your computer. So as you're doing your immersion, boom, pull it up. Again, if you want an iPad version or a phone version, just let me know down below. And if it gets enough likes, I could probably do that. Okay. The tool and how it works. Very easy. It's one shortcut, which you get to decide. Something I don't think I actually showed you is up here in this cogwheel when you bring it up. You can pick your hotkey, right? I just picked this one because it was a French dictionary. So very easy, right? Option French for me. Oops, close that. Let's close this. And we'll keep rolling. Okay. The tool and how it works. I showed you one shortcut. We just went through that. What you watch, turn flashcards. Basically, everything that you're watching turns directly into flashcards for you if you want them to. It's just export, drop into AI, import, ready deck. Super easy, super straightforward, very low friction. And then my two capture rules, talk it in. So use a voice tool if you're interested in that. Again, let me know. And keep it in English just because it allows you to do it faster and reduce the friction, keeping the main thing, and you keep moving. So again, you can get this totally for free. I'm giving it to you down below and just go ahead and download it. Again, this is the tool. You grab it for free, like I said. And it's the Fluency Formula Dictionary. You can use it. It has 10 languages as of right now. There's Mac and there's Windows version, and the link is in the description and the pinned comment. And I'll also remind you that everything you saw here is just one piece of a bigger system and stuff that I give to my students all the time. If you want to learn more about that, you can watch the video, The Fluency Roadmap. That's also in the description down below. Final thing is, what should I build next? If you like this series and you want me to do more stuff with AI, Claude Code, all this kind of stuff, and show you either how to build tools yourself, or like I say right here, I can just build the tools for you and you can let me know what you're missing and what you need, then again, just let me know. So again, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. It was a little bit different. Go get your free tool down below and I'll see you in the next one.